Welcome back to another sports podcast, everybody. It's exactly what the world needs is another sports podcast with a sweaty trio. We're glad to be back in the locker room. Today, we have a certified rink rat in the building. If you spent any time on hockey Twitter, sorry, X, you've definitely seen his takes flying around your timeline. He's breaking down the game, stirring the pot when it needs stirring, and saying what a lot of people are thinking but won't tweet. From Leafs chaos to league-wide drama, this guy lives and breathes hockey culture. Sweaty people, I present to you the man behind the Rink Rat account, Joseph. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to come on our podcast, man.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
I want to start out with asking you about what Rink Rat is, where did it come from, and were you always the kid living at the rink?
Yeah, still always seem to be at the rink at least 5 times a week somehow, whether I like it or not. But where did it come from? I don't know. I just wanted to start talking about hockey more. I didn't love how a lot of people generalize like what they're saying. And so then that's where I took it. I was going from I wanted to first talk about everything. I didn't want to just do Leafs. Then I realized like, you're not going to be able to get into the minute details of everything. Like there's just 24 hours in a day. So I just decided I'm going to watch every Leafs game. I'm going to pay attention to every Leafs prospect and try to explain what I see from there, from my vantage point.
That kind of ties in what I want to ask you next. I follow accounts like, NHL Forever and NHL Benchside. Is that kind of what your main takeaway is? What separates you from like other big hockey creators and content guys?
Which one's NHL Forever? I actually don't even know if
I think they're like kind of new. I think they're on Instagram a lot. I don't think I've ever seen them on Twitter.
I don't know. A lot of those like bigger accounts are like aggregators. They're sharing just like clips from everything.
Right.
Like when it comes to like guys that I follow that I like when it comes to actually like explaining details of individual games and like how are the Leafs playing without, like you look at analytics to me, I feel like covers a lot of people misinterpret data like crazy online. But like I look at Dmitry Filipovich, like that guy, it seems like is watching hockey 24/7.
He's
like,
awesome.
That's what like he watches a ton of hockey. And then Corey Schneider of Shutdown Line, or all 3 zones, him as well. Like it's to a ridiculous point, and it's over years and years and years and years that they've actually like refined what they're watching and why they're actually smart and why they're able to put it out there like that. So I'm not able to watch as much as they are. So I decided to stick with the Leafs. I've branched out more this year, but more in terms of not the NHL, but more of the OHL draft and that sort of stuff. So
hockey Twitter is it's pretty passionate. I mean, we're all Leaf fans, so we know what goes into that side of it. Do you have any like crazy DMs or crazy beefs that people have kind of started with you over the last few years with your Twitter account?
Beefs and such?
Or even just like insane DMs or crazy takes or anything like that?
I think the craziest one, I posted something 2 years ago. It was on a broadcast. It was me messing up. Like I took a clip of a broadcast because I heard something. I'm like, that's really crazy to say. And I took a video of it and I ended the video. It was James Duthie like saying that like, oh, Frankie Corrado wins the Healthy Scratch Award. I'm like, that's kind of a gutless thing to say. And I thought because like the way that Jeff O'Neill reacted and everyone reacted, I thought he was like taking a shot at him without Frankie knowing. And I posted the video, but I didn't realize afterwards they like specified on the broadcast that it was a joke. Wow. And I missed that part and I posted it and it just got more and more traction. James Duthie DM'd me saying like, I'm seeing this video around like that. This is taken so out of context. And like, he said to me, like, this is like, nothing is a surprise on air that you see. This is all pre-planned. And I had to apologize. And then like, I apologized online. I said, like, to clear the air, oops, like this was planned. I made a mistake. But the original tweet just kept getting more and more and more attention. And everyone was ignoring the apologies. So I was like, oh, this guy probably hates my guts. Made him look like such an asshole. So I had to delete it. I'm like, this is out of hand. So.
We actually had James Duffy on the podcast, and he has his books, greatest stories, untold stories, sorry, around the NHL, and it's so fascinating to hear the other side of hockey players. And so this kind of ties into my question about: do you think players actually care what Twitter says about them?
Yes. There's some where it's yes.
Have you ever had any interactions with players through your social media?
With players, Max Domi blocked me. That was quite interesting this year.
He blocked you?
He blocked me. Yeah, he's blocked a lot of people on Leafs Twitter.
For what?
It could have been something from last year. I don't know. Have you watched him play?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. He's either up here or he's down here. I tracked chances in the playoffs. He had, which was pretty low. He had like at one point 3 scoring chances, and like 3 of them were game winners. But like also at the same time, he took like 10 minor penalties that were just so unnecessary. But it was probably, if I were to guess, it was when he went after Zadorov, like which again, that was a high and low moment. They're down 3-1. They look like crap. Matthews gets knocked out of the game. He made a great pass to McMahon. McMahon drives to the net. Boom. Like then Oliver Ekman-Larsson scores. Boom. We got a 1-goal game. And 5'9" Max Domi decides to start hacking at Nikita Zadorov and take a penalty, and Boston scores, and the game's out of hand. And I said, that's just stupidity. Like, You're a hero, bud. Congrats. Like, just made a great play to cut the deficit, and then you're sitting in the box for when they score. It was stupidity. And not gonna lie, on the radio, Jim Ralph said the same thing. So I'm not alone on that one. But yeah, Max Domi, not a fan of the Rink Rat Report. Okay.
That's funny. I was scrolling through Twitter, and I think it was a couple weeks ago. I saw a tweet about the Leafs are 559 and 559 since they lost Jiri Tlusty. Do you have like a favorite niche sort of Leafs player that you grew up watching and just kind of has a special place in your heart for?
Oh boy. There's a bunch of like ones where you can just like rattle off like stats about them that nobody else would obviously remember. Like, do you remember the JSO ban run?
Yep.
They just kind of ruined their draft position. That was funny, but that was crazy to remember there. The Bauer pads that he had, those were really, really nice. I liked those. There's Jonathan Bernier when they were tanking in 2016, rattled off a 940 in like the last 2 months of the season. They had to stop playing him. They just kind of stopped playing him. That was kind of funny. What else was there? There's a lot. When you start going through the rosters, there's a lot
there's so many
going on. Benders kind of thing. Frankie Corrado's a really great guy. Talked to him. I've had him when I did the podcast. I had him on a couple times. Always really, really great guy. So shout out to him. I think that's about it.
So we finally have NHL players best on best back at the Olympics. Obviously, we're rooting for Canada. Aside from the US and not having Russia in the Olympics, do you think there's a big threat, whether it's Sweden, Slovakia beat Finland today? You got any like dark horse?
I don't know. You watched Sweden today?
Yeah, they look like shit for the first 40 minutes.
Lost it.
Terrible.
Lost to Italy.
They were tied with Italy. Damian Clara. Oh my gosh. He was awesome today.
He was.
I know the Ducks really like him as a prospect. I mean, was moving pretty well. I was really impressed with him. So that was great to see there. Few GTA guys on the Italy team too. So
their goalie is Canada's Olympic handball goalie.
No, Cristiano Di Giacinto is not a goalie. He's a forward
for handball.
I believe. Is it
something like that?
He's something ball.
Yeah,
I know he plays ball hockey in like Hamilton.
Maybe that's what it is.
Di Giacinto Spitfires, former Spitfire. Yeah, I saw the same tweet. Elliot Friedman tweeted something about him, but yeah, he's on the Italy team. Mantenuto is from Thornhill. Di Tommaso is from Toronto. Tapernas from Woodbridge. Yeah, so shout out to them. In terms of a threat, I think Czechia has always got. They've got some great players there. Pavel Zacha out obviously hurts them, Dostal, we've seen him steal some games. He's a solid goalie. Like just Finland and Sweden today, what a horrible way to start the tournament. I would have said one of them, but they look terrible. My God. So yeah, it's tough to say, but I would say Czechia probably is a good threat. I mean, Slovakia, they were
Slavkovsky in the Olympics is a next
he
level
was awesome
beast.
today. He was awesome today.
Really
I got
good.
to watch bits and pieces of both games. He was awesome today. So that was great to see. Hlavai, I mean, do I think he's an NHL goalie? No, but he made some saves today. He made some huge saves. Rupe Hintz backdoor. That was a great save. So
Out of curiosity,
Yeah.
are there any other Winter Olympic sports that have caught your attention so far? I know we're only 4 or 5 days into the Olympics, but
yeah, the people that compete in the Winter Olympics for the most part are clinically insane. The doubles luge,
It's so
That
funny,
was-
dude.
It's crazy.
that caught my attention.
It's
The
crazy.
biathlon caught my attention just because of the insane people that compete in it, that are cheating on their girlfriends, that are committing wire fraud and then shushing the crowd because the lion doesn't concern himself with wire fraud, apparently. That was something. Skeleton, like some of these sports are just insane. So it's great. Like, I mean, Winter Olympics, Summer Olympics, like it's always on. It's just something to, like, when the hell else are you going to pay attention to,
Never.
short track speed skating once every 4 years?
Exactly.
So enjoy it.
I've been dying to ask you this question now that we've seen your jersey in the background. Mitch Marner leaving Toronto. We call him
Yep.
Player 16 because we refuse to say his name because at least me and Taylor hate him. Oos is sort of indifferent.
they
How
call
do
him
you
player
feel about
16.
Entire
I'm an adult.
situation and how he went about leaving Toronto?
I mean, it's up and down kind of thing. How do I feel about him leaving? Never even really fully thought about it. I mean, it sucks. Like, according to what the reports were, it sounded like he wanted to wait until free agency, see what the market is, try to get as much money as possible, right?
Mhm.
You gave him the no move clause and you changed GMs. The president changed GMs like a week before it kicked in. That's not the smartest move. But that was also because you had to change GMs because you got into a big fight with the last one. And the last one publicly came out and said, I don't even know if I want to be in the NHL anymore. That was a weird press conference. So that kind of screwed you there. Could you have gotten Mitch, like, if you kept Kyle Dubas, which didn't sound like that was a possibility because someone told him, hey, the Pittsburgh Penguins president job is open. Could he have moved Mitch Marner, and what could you have gotten? That would have been interesting there. But then the no move clause kicks in. And it's like, okay, they tried to go to the table. What do we want, Mitch? And he said, no, I'm good. I'm waiting until the end of the season. And then they tried to make some moves. Nothing really came of it. I will say the one thing that is overlooked that would have been awesome regardless was, so they tried to trade Marner for Rantanen. Marner said no. His wife's 7 months pregnant. Like, that's all right. Like that, sure. On a personal level, sure. But then they tried to trade Matthew Nyes and 2 first-round picks for Rantanen, which was rejected. I don't know on which side. So you could have had Rantanen, Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares all on the same team for a playoff run, and then kept one of Marner, Rantanen. That would have been unreal. But Marner said, I'm waiting till free agency. And by the end of the playoffs, it sounded like the Leafs gave him a giant middle finger and said, pack your bags. And it was like, okay. So you could look at it two ways. Marner could have played ball and said, I want to be a Leaf. Let's get this extension done, which like Nylander did, but they paid him a shit ton of money. Oh my God. Like, especially I was looking at that season. I was like, okay, Nylander, Reinhart. Reinhart got $8.5 million because I don't know. I'm just going to accuse him of. I'm going to leave the money laundering accusations out of this. That's, anyways, $8.5 million for Sam Reinhart. Like, all right, sure. Like the Nylander contract negotiations that year were unbelievable. I'm rambling right now, but every year a million just kept getting added and kept getting added and kept getting added, and he just kept scoring. So that was ridiculous there. But Marner could have came to the table and said, I want to be a Leaf. What's the number that you can afford? But, you know, he played his hand and now he's in Vegas. I mean, whether he wanted that or not, whether he actually wanted to be a Leaf or not, I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. So
with all that said,
and then you didn't get value for him, and you got Nick Waugh for Mitch Marner. So like it went up in flames. Like I don't you could have kept him. The Leafs, if the Leafs really wanted him, they could have kept him. But if he really wanted to be here, he would have he could have signed an extension as well. So
agreed.
There is that two-part where he left the door open. He said, hey, like this is when I'm gonna negotiate. And the Leafs at that time kind of went like this. He said no. And so they shut the door on him. So he can say, well, they said no to me, but then they can also come back and say, well, you waited all this time. We did want to offer you a contract. So it would have been curious this year, though, after that Game 7, had they signed him in, say, November or whatever, and you had to run the core four back because you gave everyone no move deals, what that would have looked like. I'm not going to lie, probably better than what it looks like right now. So
brutal right now.
There is that. Like, you can say, like, oh, Mitch Marner, like, did he screw the Leafs? Maybe a little bit, but were the Leafs a better team with him? I mean, we're in February sitting outside of the playoffs.
Second last in the Atlantic right now.
I mean, when was the last time this happened?
With all that said, do you think Leafs fans are in their right mind to be upset with Mitch Marner? We've had a beef with another Instagram account, Sweaty Trio versus True Believer, on this topic.
Oh, that guy's great.
He's a complete utter doorknob, Joseph.
I like that guy. I've had conversations with that guy's great. I forget his real name, but yeah, I like that guy. I think here's the thing. Like, you pay money for a Sportsnet subscription, you pay money for a TSN subscription, or you pay money for cable. You pay money to go to the games, which are not cheap at all, no matter how they're playing, it seems. You could tell anyone on that team that you want whatever you want. Who cares? You're paying premium dollars for them to not win the Stanley Cup. You could say whatever you want, and like nobody can really say boo about it. Like, I could say, like, I don't know, like after a turnover, pack your bags. Like you're paying the money. You can do whatever the hell you want. Or you can say, hey, like, we got to cheer these guys on to no end. Like, that's how they're going to play better. We got to treat them better, because like this market, when it's good. But when it's not,
grim.
Oh my God. You got to feel like a goldfish with like just cats walking around the bowl 24/7. My God.
What are your thoughts? I mean, I think since True Living and Berube have come here, minus the 1 year of success they had with Marner, losing to Florida in the second round, it's been an utter disaster. I mean,
that's what we call
Joshua is bad money. Domi's bad money.
Holy shit.
Like,
so embarrassing.
What are your thoughts on management and coaching?
I just want to jump in and say I didn't grow up watching hockey. I picked it up like in university. Maybe I was 18.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but like, I can't believe I bought into this Leafs team. It looks so good, and like there was such a light on the horizon, and now it's hell. The sun has set, and it's not coming back for 24 years. Sorry.
18. So, oh my God, you missed all the Burke years. You missed the Kessel trade.
He missed the misery. The
really
18-wheeler driving off with Peter Horacek at the helm.
One playoff run with Nog.
God, that was so bad. Peter Horacek coming off. Puck luck, guys. It was just puck luck. We didn't get the puck luck tonight. Have you seen this roster, Peter? We suck.
Your best player was Leo Komarov.
All-star.
Yeah, Leo Komarov, all-star.
30 goals, baby.
Yeah. He scored. Oh my god!
Yeah, I think it was like
He,
26 or 28, whatever it was.
He scored a decent amount, but when he went to the All-Star game, he came back whole team. He bought the whole team hats, NHL All-Star game hats. That was the story that Frankie Corrado told us. That was a funny one.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, in terms of management and what they've done, I mean, have I really loved some of the comments that Berube has made? I think those could have been a little bit better, but every coach does that. So whatever. I mean, when Treliving first came in, I mean, to get Bertuzzi on a 1-year deal, I thought that was phenomenal. They got Domi for only $3 million at the time, which depends on what week it was. That was something, provided about $3 million in value on aggregate. I don't remember if he was the Joseph Woll extension. That was interesting. To sign Stolars, that was tremendous value. Like, they've done some good things. The difficult thing that has happened was the last deadline. You knew there was a chance you were going to lose Mitch Marner. You had to push the chips in. You had to do something. Unfortunately, with that something, you got Brandon Carlo, who I still think is a good defenseman. It's unfortunate the injury that he's suffered this year. And like, playing with Riley hasn't really mixed overly well for him. And on top of that, like, I just know with defensemen, it takes a lot of time. You need a full season to really get acclimated there. So That's where we saw some hesitation on some plays and not the best hockey, right? Like, I always think Jake McCabe's a great defenseman. People thought he was a number 6 after his first half season with Toronto. A number 6. Jonas Siegel said that. Like, you can look it up. He's not a number 6. Unbelievable. But like, that's where, like, Carlo, I still think is good. It's just been unfortunate. And the issue with getting Brandon Carlo was then you had a decor of Tanev, Carlo on the right side. Okay. Then you had Benoit. Okay. McCabe. Like, okay, not the fleetest of foot defenseman. It was just the wrong kind of mix that you've brought in. And then now, when you look at the center depth, like, you had in that season last year, you had Matthews, you had Tavares, and then you had Lawton, who, like, is Lawton they brought him in to be a shutdown defensive center. He's not quite that. He's gotten better. I'll give him credit there, but he's not quite really that. So you made some like, the players that you got, I think, are okay. You paid a lot for them because that's what the going prices were. And it was just like the window that you had. You had this window, you had these amount of players. Whether or not he actually was just picking like those players over other ones, I don't know exactly, but you brought in the wrong mix, in my opinion. And that's where you got what you got in the playoffs. And that being a team that struggled to move the puck out of its own end. And also, it didn't help that Tanev was dealing with injuries. So you got a reduced Tanev there, which is unfortunate. But you went all in with him as well, giving him 6 years. Like, if you wanted him, that's what you had to do. And you really wanted him because he's a great defenseman. But that's unfortunate there. And then, to beat Florida, what you really had to do was, like, hold it together defensively, like, hold and pray. And like what we saw in many games, they gave up like 24 straight shot attempts, not great quality, not scoring chances against, but you're not touching the puck at all. And then through the neutral zone, make those kind of hope plays that then resulted in rush chances the other way. So, like, that's where it was either on or not in the playoffs against Florida. And unfortunately, in Game 7, it was halfway through. I will say it was not. So my assessment of management, like, they took risks and it didn't really result in what you wanted. And you made a decision on a star player to not bring him back. And he was unwilling to, again, as we said, he wasn't willing to sign an extension. And now the result is what it is. And I'm curious to see what he does and how much runway Keith Pelly gives him, because he's the main guy. I think that makes him, if they had a president of hockey operations, I think the seat's pretty hot for him. They don't, so I don't think it's as hot, but it'll be very curious to see what they do the rest of this season and how they view this team.
Kind of sticking with the management, I think it's fair to say that the Leafs don't draft the best. I mean, they have Cowan, who's basically a full-time NHLer at this point. Danford's coming up. I think they have that Halinka kid in the WHL. What do you think of the Leafs draft pool, let's call it the last 3 to 4 years?
Like they haven't had the most amount of high-level draft picks, but I mean,
also true.
Yeah. So when you're limiting the number of high-level picks that you have, and you're not drafting in the top 10, most of the time you're not even drafting in the first round. Like the percentage that you're actually going to hit on, an NHLer is a lot less.
Yeah.
Like Cowan at 28 right now, the 28th overall pick, which it was a little bit of a surprise that they kept that, but like that's seeming to be great value.
Yeah, for sure.
In terms of what we've seen this first season, I was expecting him to be up and down with the Marlies. He's been one of the Leafs' 12 best forwards. He can make plays with the puck. He can hold on to the puck. Unfortunately, sometimes a little bit too much, but those are growing pains of a 20-year-old. So, like, that's a great pick there. Malinowski, he's whatever. Noah Chadwick, he's really picked it up. I think he has 9 points in his last 10 games with the Marlies. So that's a guy that you got in the 6th round. He signed an entry-level contract. Okay, we'll see there. Fraser Minton, shit, you gave up on him. Not gave up. You used him in a trade.
Yeah.
And he's been really good this year. Really, really smart player there. And that was in the 2nd round. All right. Dennis Hildeby, you got in the 4th round. All right. Nikita Grabenkin's playing in the NHL right now.
Yep.
That was in the 5th round. Oh, and by the way, that's all in the 2022 entry draft. Fraser Minton, Dennis Hildeby, and Nikita Grabenkin in one draft with no first-round draft pick.
That's pretty solid.
That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. Oh, yeah, and the year before, you got Matthew Nyes in the 2nd round, at the end of the 2nd round. So, like, the 2020 draft, like, it's very unfortunate what happened. Rodion Amirov passed away. Like, that was really unfortunate.
Yeah, very sad.
Like, it was very sad. Like, that's the 2020 draft. You can just throw that one away. But since 2021, I don't know. Based on the guys I just listed, like Victor Johansson, he's working his way up. I would keep an eye on him. The rest of these guys, I'm not. Holinka, yeah, that's a guy to watch, kind of keep an eye on. Ben Danford, we'll see.
Iffy.
Not a great World Junior.
He's not my favorite. But we'll see. He's there's something there. We'll see him next year in the pros. But we'll see there. This past year, I'm going to be honest. Well, Tinas Luke Kobylar, he's having a decent pro year, so that's encouraging. The rest of the guys I'm not a huge fan of. But to go back to your question, how have the Leafs drafted? Well, they had that guy that went to Pittsburgh. Kyle Dubas's buddy. He did it, and by what I just recounted from 2021 through 2024, call it 2023, whatever.
Yeah,
that's been pretty solid.
Oh, Wes Clark.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, like you didn't draft from 2021 to 2024, call it. You didn't draft higher than 28. To have that many guys that are playing in the NHL, I think that's pretty successul, right?
That's pretty damn good.
Also,
fair enough.
I just need to jump in. Now that I'm looking at you, Joseph, you look like Nyes.
No.
I've got that.
Yeah.
I kind of see it too.
100%.
I connected that too a little bit earlier ago. I don't want to say anything, but
I don't think so.
Sorry, Oos, go ahead. I know you have a question.
Yeah. So if the Leafs do end up near a playoff spot or in a playoff spot before the deadline, what would you like to see them do? Would you want to see them sell, or would you want to see them start bringing some of these young studs that we just mentioned up to the lineup?
They can't really bring up anyone. Like it would be like Chadwick. You can bring up. There's one guy with the Marlies that's doing okay-ish, but I wouldn't even. It's not worth it to bring him up. He's a forward. I don't know why his name is escaping me at the moment, but we'll find him later. It's not even worth it. Boria Valley, he's doing okay. He's got 10 goals this year, but it's not enough. So like in terms of call up the young guys, let's see what they got. There's one guy. His name is Artur Akhtiamov, which you don't even have to. He's not there yet. Like I hate to break it to everyone, there's no young guys to call up. Like William Villaduve, I'm not the biggest fan of him. Like I really think he's got a ways to go. He's a good pro defenseman. He'll have a long career, but in terms of the NHL, I'm not sold on him yet. Like Jake McQuillan, sure. That's it.
That's
good. The only young guy. He's fast. He's got to figure out some details with this game, but it's encouraging that he has improved year over year. So that's something worth it to keep an eye on. But
so with guys that I don't know, like with some guys that we could move, like McMahon, Lawton, Robertson, Yarncrook, would you want to see them start moving off these guys, or even guys with longer term like OEL, Carlos, Wool, or Stolars? Like, would you want to see them start cleaning shop and start recouping some assets?
So I like in terms of what if they're at a playoff spot by the deadline? I don't think there's enough games for them for that to actually physically be possible. So we don't have to worry about that. In terms of, you won 3 in a row going into the Olympic break. What are your thoughts on that and like where the team stands? I really think that a retool, a mini retool is necessary. Like I just think that like the fit of this team right now is a little bit awkward. You don't have enough, like in terms of defense, you've got some, like Jake McCabe is still a very good defenseman.
Yep.
You still have Tanev, who's been injured all year, and that is killed. Like you can't state enough how much that has killed the Leafs. Will he be back next year? Will he be able to play more than 40 games next year? I have no idea. Like he's got a lot of tread on the tire, we'll say. But yeah, a mini retool I think would be best to try to kind of clear out some guys and then try to rebuild it from there. Like I just feel like the wingers on this team, the centers are too slow. B, the wingers, I don't think the Leafs have, like the top 3 lines are all horrible defensively in terms of forwards. It cannot be stated how bad the forwards are defensively. It blows my mind watching this every game. They suck. So to clear out some of those and try to rebuild from there, yes, I would love that. Like you cannot win in the playoffs with your first line being so bad defensively. Like everyone talks about, since the Christmas break, Matthews is back. He's scoring. There's a lot of goals going the other way too, that we're not talking about.
Right.
So like your centers are really slow. Like Nick Waugh's okay. I knew what he was coming in. I didn't like he's defensively, he's not as good as what I thought, but your centers being Matthews, Tavares, Nick Waugh, and Scott Lawton, your fastest center can't be Scott Lawton by 2 miles. You're just way too slow up the middle. Now you can't move the puck. Like your centers can't transport the puck out of the zone. And then, so yeah, I would like McMahon's going to command the most amount of value. I think even Oliver Ekman-Larsson, he's been okay. He's very up and down. Not the greatest defensively, but he's a decent 5-6 defenseman that they're playing way too much. If he has value and you can get some good assets for him, yeah, I would say why not move off of him and then try to retool from there. I mean, to go to the playoffs, what has it been 9 years in a row?
Yep.
It's going to be taxing. Like the Tampa Bay Lightning missed the playoffs in 2017. Like how many other teams have made the playoffs 9 years in a row?
It's a hard streak. It's a lot of hockey and it's physical hockey.
Well, it's not a lot. It's 7 extra games for the most part. Unfortunately, it's not
We're not playing.
You're William Nylander, sure. World Juniors on top of that. Yeah, that's a lot of hockey.
Sometimes 13.
Sometimes 13. Okay, twice. We got 13. But in terms of like it's a lot in terms like, because each year you're pressured to go all in. Like to speak to actually the one thing that nobody gives Brad Treliving credit for, when he came in, the decor that we had, we thought it was good. Like Brody fell off a cliff, unfortunately.
Yep.
Mark Giordano hit 40, his play fell off. And it's like, So like those were two big defensemen that he inherited that both were, you could not play in the playoffs. You had to fill those spots. And he did it without giving up a first round pick. He brought in Edmondson, who I was critical of. I didn't think Edmondson was that good. He played pretty well in the playoffs. And Ilya Lyubushkin, who you got for like $450K against the cap.
Yeah. That was pretty big.
It was pretty good patchwork, I will say. Like to inherit a decor and one of your top defensemen falls off a cliff. Another one that was really good, he falls off as well. To do that patchwork without giving up a first round pick, I thought it was pretty serviceable there. So like that, but again, like you had to go in, you had to trade all those picks, you had to trade prospects because you were competitive. Unfortunately, you're not competitive this year. You got to retool. You got to give yourself some air, give yourself some cap space, and then work from there. And then we'll be able to tell what is Brad Treliving as a GM.
And
I don't want any Calgary fans answering that.
No. Jonathan Huberdeau.
That was tough.
Let's say the Leafs, we live in a perfect world. They move off some guys, they get a little bit of assets, they got a little bit of cap space next year, and then it's year 2 without Marner. Do you think maybe next year is a better outlook on playoffs? Not saying like they're going to win the Atlantic or anything, but maybe push for like a second or first wild card spot?
So in terms of that, you'd have to look at kind of a perfect world scenario. Like you would have to have one of Stolars or Wool healthy for X percent of the games, right? Hildeby, I'm not sure when he's not waiver exempt. So that's going to be a big thing to watch as well, because how well are the goalies? If you do a 3-man rotation because one of our other 2 goalies is always injured, how is that going to work? Okay, so that's something to watch there. Tanev's got to be playing, 60-70% of the games and be available for playoffs. So that's something. Perfect world there. Matthews needs to be healthy. Tavares, I think if he keeps, like, I don't know, he's getting paid $4.5 million. Like if he's available, that would be great there as well. So barring injuries, I think they could, if they go about it right. I mean, hopefully Cowan then takes another step there. So you have that. I'm not exactly sure who's available free agency wise, and you'd have to make some trades. Then maybe if you recoup enough assets, maybe make some deals at the draft. Who knows? So it's definitely possible. You have some elite talent. You got to add, and you got to hope that your decor, which is getting older and older, stays healthy, which each year that goes by, that's less and less likely, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a big if.
It's a really big if right now.
With the deadline coming up, I mean, I like the idea of taking on extra salary to get more return. So, for example, let's say LA calls and say we want Bobby McMahon. Well, I'd say, okay, we want a prospect, higher pick, and we'll take a guy like Warren Fogle, something like that. Like, I like that player. I think he's good. Is there anything else that kind of crosses your mind like that?
That would be insane if they gave Warren Fogle. I know that I saw that they're looking to move off of him.
I like him.
Don't understand why. He's a good player. He shot above. He kind of punched above his weight in terms of goals last year. He's a good player. I think to be able to get him, that would be really interesting. I don't know what his contract is. It's manageable. It's definitely
He's got another
manageable.
year at 3 and change.
One more year at 3 and change. I don't think LA is looking to get rid of him as solely a cap dump. That's the issue. And with the cap going up, that cap space that you saw before, where you were actually able to take on a semi-decent player that was getting paid too much, has kind of sailed, because I don't think there's enough teams in cap hell, call it, that are going to have to do that. Like this year, Florida got lucky. They didn't have to move Evan Rodriguez. He was kind of on the chopping block. He's an okay player. He would really fit well with the Leafs. So I think we're going to see less cap dumps at the moment. So I don't think that's really going to be, as valuable as it was. It would have been a great idea for the Leafs to do that if they're able to shed some guys, take on maybe a reclamation project, but it's kind of less likely now. But if Warren Fogel's available, I'd be poking around if I were them.
Joseph, man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come on our podcast and share so much hockey wisdom with us. Take this opportunity to tell the people where they could find you and what you're working on.
Rink Rat Report on Twitter. That's really the only place I post right now. I'm hopefully going to be getting out some OHL draft stuff soon, so stay tuned.
That's awesome, guys. Man.
Very nice.
We get a salute, and we say stay sweaty at the end of every episode. Can we get a stay sweaty salute from you?
Stay sweaty.
Stay sweaty.
Stay sweaty.
Thanks, Joseph.